Hello everyone, my name is Jeanette Camping from Henry Stewart Events. I'd like to welcome you to our latest webinar, Headless Dam, Increasing Content to Market Speed and Agility, sponsored by Scaleflex. We're delighted to see such a global audience of DAM professionals registered today. We'll be having Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please post your questions in the chat function on your GoToWebinar panel. And we're recording today's session, and you'll be sent the link to the recording later. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Emil Novikov. Thank you for joining us today, Emil, and over to you.
Thank you, Jeanette, for the intro, and welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Myself, I'm based out of Paris, so it's the evening, and I am really happy. Just give me a second. I'm having here the viewer, go to webinar viewer, which, okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I'm here. So I'm very happy to be here with you to talk about our passion over the last 18 months. It's a topic we've spent a lot of time at Scaleflex researching, listening to customers, and working on developing around, which is not only DAM, digital asset management, but headless DAM. So I'm sure you're all here, either DAM practitioners, specialists, or maybe even developers from R&D teams. You're familiar with the challenges digital asset management solves. Maybe something you're less familiar with is how a DAM can be used and consumed in a headless way in order to solve some of the challenges that a more collaborative or practitioner use of the DAM platform or tool is raising. And this is why the title of this webinar is how to increase content to market speed and agility with headless DAM. I'm Emil. I'm a co-founder at Scaleflex. We are a French-based company, but acting in over 50 countries, and we've been around since 2016, started in the media optimization space, and later involved into a DAM vendor with a big focus on headless DAM. And that's my pleasure to be here today to share some insights on what headless DAM is, what it does, how it, which challenges it solves, and then show you a little bit how we provide headless DAM capabilities as Scaleflex. So what's in for me, basically, or for you speaking here? What is the goal, and what can you expect from this this webinar? Actually, 4 things. The first thing is to learn how headless DAM can help bring you and your team's content to market faster. The second thing is how to future-proof, stabilize, and scale content workflows and operations. And finally, how to drive ROI from your DAM investments by building true unique source of truth for media assets. People always say that the DAM is the source of truth for media assets, but we come across customers who have not only but multiple DAMs all the time, and this kind of goes a little bit against the purpose of the single source of truth. And this is actually where we believe headless DAM can really help building this universal media library everybody is dreaming of. And the fourth thing you can expect in this webinar is a little present that we have prepared for you as an early festive gift for the holiday season from the Scaleflex team. So please stay tuned until the end of the webinar to discover what's in this beautiful purple box. So before we start with actually explaining what headless DAM is and talking about the challenges, please answer this quick poll. What is your level of understanding and knowledge of or about headless DAM? And you can select one of the 4 answers. Number 1, I've never heard of it. Number 2, I heard of it, but I have no idea what it is. Number 3, I'm familiar with the concept. And number 4 is I really live and breathe headless DAM every single day. So let's give a few seconds here for everybody to answer. Fifteen more seconds. I'm curious to know how many people live and breathe headless DAM. Good. Jeanette, I think we can close the poll. And we have here our answers. I believe you can also see them. So most of 88% of the audience is between 2 and 3. Heard of it, but I have no idea what it is, or I'm familiar with the concept. With 42 plus 13, so 55%. So the majority of the audience who has either never heard of it or has heard of it, but have not no real knowledge or understanding of it. So this is good, because for those who have never heard of it or don't know what it is, we'll spend quite some time on explaining what it is. And for those who are familiar with the concept, we'll show you how actually we approach the topic and what solutions we offer in that world. So let's continue. I think we all agree here that there has been an irreversible shift to digital, and this shift started not only 18 months ago with what happened in the last 18 months, but way before, as obviously e-commerce became a huge market, as some startups like Gorillas in Germany have emerged 2 years ago that didn't exist. Now it's a multi-billion-dollar company in the grocery delivery business. Their value prop is to deliver groceries in 10 minutes, ordered only on mobile. And as obviously meetings are shifting from physical to digital meetings with Zoom, Google Meet, GoToWebinar, you name it, I think we all agree that the world is going digital, and this shift is irreversible. As companies are becoming digital, obviously the digital content libraries are bigger than ever. In order to be digital and provide digital experiences for customers, obviously content libraries or digital content is required, and the content libraries are growing every day. And this content is used by more teams than ever before and distributed through more channels than ever before. Just today, I was reading on the news that Walmart is going to host in 4 days from now, on the 28th, a live shopping event on Twitter's new live stream platform. So they are the first one hosting such an event on this platform, and this is yet another channel that we were not familiar with maybe a few weeks or a few months ago, at least not for myself, that will require content, media assets, especially if we talk e-commerce or shopping here, to be published on. So more teams, more channels.
Emil, sorry to interrupt. We can't see your slides.
Oh, can't you?
Click on the poll. So if you can just see if you can share your
Yeah,
slide.
let me unshare and share again.
There it is. Thank you.
Can you see? Oh, you didn't see my beautiful images. All right, so digital content libraries are bigger than ever, and more teams and more channels are using those libraries to provide digital experiences to the various audiences all around the world. And this trend is only going one way. So according to Forbes, the global content consumption doubled only in 2020. Okay, so this is, I think, a great number to support the fact that it's a trend. It goes only one way, and actually content has never been more important than now and in the future. And if we look at content and we drill down a little bit into what content is, at the foundation of content, we have our media assets. We have our images, our videos, our product sheets, our documentation, and we have all this content which relies on media assets in order to be engaging. Gartner, but many other analysts and people talk about digital experiences. Without media assets, there are no digital experiences, there is no content. And the challenge is that if we look here at this landscape, we have here teams, tools, and channels all relying on media assets to create, store, and also publish this content. So if we start at the top here and go clockwise, we have our teams. So we have content and marketing teams, we have developers, we have digital product owners, we have digital agencies, externally, internally. All these teams require media assets in order to create experiences, create landing pages, create web stores, and so on. So different teams, which are usually, especially in larger organizations, siloed. Then if we continue clockwise, we have the tools and the systems, like the content management system, again, e-commerce or non-e-commerce. We have the PIM, product information management. In that case, this is relevant for e-commerce. We have the brand portals used by the marketing teams to create flyers, banners, digital experiences. Again, we have the DXP, CXP, so digital experience platforms, and we have the social media management platform used to create social media posts and publish them across the different social media channels. So we have a variety here of tools as well, which rely on media assets or need media assets. And finally, to close the circle, we have a multitude, and I've just listed here a few of them, of channels through which these digital experiences relying on media assets are published. The websites, obviously, one or multiple landing pages, blogs, social media platforms, and e-commerce are just few examples of all the from all the channels that can be used to publish media assets to reach target audiences and engage in this digital world. So the good news is that there are plenty of marketing tools and integrations in the MarTech ecosystem to simplify a little bit this collaboration between teams, tools, and channels. And we've conducted a study through our customer base last quarter, and we asked them, how many MarTech tools do you have? And actually, the response was quite surprising. On average, our customers use more than 50 MarTech tools in order to function and exist in this digital world. And according to Gartner, though, marketing leaders report that they're only utilizing 58% of the MarTech stack's full brief of capabilities. This means that less than 2/3 of the features and capabilities of those tools are used by the marketing teams in this case, which obviously it's a big lost opportunity, because usually customers pay for the entire set of feature. And that what's also interesting is that level has remained flat. So since 2019, even though we're becoming more and more digital, actually the utilization rate of the tools is not moving. And we believe at ScaleFlex that in order for people to utilize those marketing tools better and also justify their spend and get better ROIs, a single source of truth and a real single unique source of truth for centralizing, managing, and optimizing the digital assets is required to drive the MarTech adoption. And here, obviously, as DAM practitioners or people familiar with the DAM ecosystem, this is where the digital asset management platform is coming into the game as really a central source of truth to bridge the gap and build here this nice circle between teams, tools, and channels in order to leverage more collaboration, get better efficiencies, and more ROI. So the question now is, how do actually customers consume digital asset management? And if we look here at the practitioner way of using the DAM, or the collaborative DAM, as we like to call it at ScaleFlex, it's usually a collaboration platform which is accessed over a web UI by the different teams. So you have marketing, you have sales, you have agencies, usually externals, which will all access the DAM database or the DAM console platform, however you want to name it, in order to create some content. Okay, everybody in these teams is a creator, and they need to access the DAM usually over a UI. However, what we usually see is that R&D, so developers typically, or product people, or e-commerce people, they would also like to use the same assets to build the e-commerce, to build the landing pages, to build the products that a company is doing. However, they're usually not that interested in accessing the DAM over a UI. Why? Because if we take an e-commerce or even a real estate or a news and media use case, you have hundreds, thousands, millions of assets which are created, modified and published every day or every month, and you cannot use a web UI in order to manage such a large amount of media assets on bigger e-commerce, bigger news and media, or bigger real estate platforms. So there is here a little bit of a disconnect in the value proposition of the collaborative or traditional digital asset management, because usually a lack of capabilities or the way people use them is not suited to really use or to really deploy a single source of truth. And this is why we like to say that the collaborative DAM is bringing the teams to the DAM. So it's a way of using the DAM where we're going to set up our DAM and bring our teams on board, our teams to the DAM. And what we've seen, and also discussing with analysts, is that one of the big challenges in of digital asset management is the adoption across silos, across teams, because usually the DAM initiative is driven by a team, let's say the marketing or the creative team, but people want to onboard more and more teams, and this becomes complicated. And this is where we ask a simple question at Scaleflex: is why can't the DAM become a standard solution like the email platform, like the collaboration tools used like Office 365 or Google Workspace? Nobody is questioning those. Nobody is refusing to adopt them because they're there and everybody knows they have to use it. And this is how the DAM should be as well. And this is where the headless DAM approach comes into the game. And we're going here to place basically again our DAM as a central source of truth for media assets, and we're going to expose multiple capabilities through headless APIs through the two different teams. So if we look here, we have basically a set of APIs, plugins, connectors, widgets, which will be used by marketing, by sales, by agencies, our same audiences that we had here on the left too, but also by R&D and e-com, in order to use the DAM as a unique or a universal media library for the entire organization. And the idea here of Headless DAM is to bring the DAM to the teams versus the teams to the DAM. And we believe that in order to drive the DAM adoption and accelerate this journey, this is a better approach by basically bringing the DAM to the teams and not the teams to the DAM. So the four main value proposition or benefits that a company can expect from a headless approach in this case is mainly centered around the content workflows and the simplification of the content operations. And by leveraging a headless DAM, it's much easier to benefit from AI-powered workflows and automations, because usually everything related to AI requires computation, requires more time, is not immediate, and you cannot expose this necessary over a UI. So it has to happen in the background, and this is where the headless DAM capabilities will bring a framework for AI enriched, for example, metadata or background removal in images or face recognition and blurring, number plate blurring. All these capabilities are made available through headless DAM plus AI-powered workflows. Then, by having basically those connectors, widgets, and APIs I mentioned before, it is really possible to reach a content anywhere scenario where everybody, every third-party system, so every person, every team, every system, and every channel can access the DAM database in a headless way in order to have content anywhere. In that case, internally, externally, this is made possible by the headless DAM value proposition. Then the third thing which is important to take into account here is that once we have content anywhere, it's much easier to break the silos between the team. I was watching a webinar a few weeks ago where the speaker said that it takes on average 14 days for a piece of content to be to be created and published, from creation to publishing. So this is because there are still content silos, and a piece of content is traveling through different teams and silos before it is ready to be published. And even then, it might not even be optimized and compressed so that it loads fast. So it's published, but in a bad way. So by using this headless DAM philosophy and approach, we can remove content silos easier and drive efficiency here. And finally, by doing all this, people, organization can become truly agile, and the content to market can be greatly accelerated using the flexibility and the integrations that a headless DAM approach provides. So all in all, to summarize, if you need to simplify your content workflows, to streamline your content operations, this is where Headless DAM has an amazing set of solutions to bring to solve your challenges. So how does it look like in terms of architecture? If you go a little bit deeper here, we have our headless DAM, which is basically a set of a combination of an ingestion network to ingest files in a large scale. I mentioned real estate or e-commerce with thousands, millions of media assets, maybe even every month. You need a distributed file system in order to have everything fast all around the world, and obviously replicated storage containers in order to guarantee high availability and resiliency and protect yourself from network outages and potentially denial of service attacks as well. So this combination of three things really makes the headless DAM backbone, if you want. Then you have the headless APIs on top, which will expose the media assets and all the DAM capabilities through powerful APIs to third-party systems like the PIM, like some custom applications, like a back office for creating classifieds, or a CMS, and also be reachable by creative applications. Imagine your colleagues are using the Adobe Suite, using some embedded connectors inside the Adobe Suite. It should be quite simple to really leverage here the single source of truth, which is in the headless DAM over those headless API. And some of the features, if you want, or more the tactical things which are required in a headless architecture are listed here. First of all is flexible upload options. So we've talked about flexibility. That's why we're also called ScaleFlex, is because we really believe that in a headless philosophy, a user shouldn't have only one way of doing things. It should be flexible. So flexible upload options, fast worldwide ingestion. As companies are growing more digital and global, it's extremely important that an upload in Australia is as fast as an upload in the US. And if somebody in Brazil uploads a media asset, that this media asset is immediately available as well in Europe. These are things that are absolutely crucial here. Custom taxonomies in order to categorize, organize. I'm sure you're all familiar with all the benefits a traditional DAM usually brings on the table here around enriching the content with custom metadata in multiple languages as well, extremely important. Those metadata can be, but don't have to be, but they can be enriched via machine learning models, which can be standard or custom trained. Everybody talks about AI, how magic it is, but eventually the AI can only work if it's adapted to a specific use case, and an algorithm to detect cats on an image might not be suitable to detect Beyonce. So basically, it's also important here to have a flexible platform allowing to bring custom machine learning models to really answer very specific use cases and enrich the metadata. Those metadata are then used obviously for smart categorization and retrieval of media assets. And the final 2 points are extremely important because as we talk about acceleration and speed, it's not only the content to market, but it's also once the content is ready, how fast can I bring it to my end user? How do I make sure that my images, my videos load fast anywhere on any device in a responsive way through optimized or compressed media assets and acceleration via one or multiple CDNs. So these are some of the base requirements, or some of them are even a bit more advanced, that then a headless DAM should bring into the game in order to be really efficient. And one more thing which we believe is important is that obviously the headless APIs allow a programmatic consumption of DAM capabilities, but people still like to see things in the CMS, in the PIM, in custom applications, and this is why a very powerful widget is extremely crucial here for those integrations to happen between those third-party system and the headless DAM with a nice widget to upload media, to edit media directly in the browser, or also to get access to the media gallery that we mentioned before. So we at ScaleFlex, we built a solution called File Robot, which is a digital asset manager which comes in two flavors. It's the same product, the same backend, the same infrastructure, but the way of consuming it is twofold. The first one is a collaborative or more of a practitioner way of using it. So this is an approach or a way of consuming the DAM which is more suited to empower marketing, collaboration and efficiency for people to create marketing campaigns, to retrieve assets, to get versions for print or for digital, to collaborate as well with tasks, annotations, all the good stuff that many of the great DAMs on the market are delivering, and also offers a headless way of consuming the DAM via those headless APIs we just mentioned before. And obviously the main audience for headless are R&D and developers who will mainly use the DAM API or the widget to integrate in third-party systems and use the DAM as a content backend. Okay, and by having those two approaches, collaborative and headless, we believe that this is absolutely crucial in order to build a unique source of truth and avoid having multiple DAMs, one for the developer and one for the marketers. So what are the main as well, some of the interesting things we are doing at ScaleFlex for headless DAM, and which are in our view complete requirements for a powerful headless DAM strategy, is first of all, it has to be completely multi-tenant in order to, for example, a global brand manage galleries from different sub-brands. Multi-tenancy is absolutely key in order to have those multiple consumers or multiple sub-brands or geos managed from a single pane of glass. So this is absolutely a requirement. The branding capabilities are important. When I say branding, is not for the APIs, because kind of branding APIs doesn't make sense. But if the widget is used, for example, to integrate the DAM in the WordPress or the DAM in the PIM, the Magento, or in the Magento CMS, for example, it's nice for people to recognize their branding. So a DAM has to have branding capabilities here. Everything must be multilingual, not only with regards to the interface, but also to the taxonomies. Non-multilingual taxonomy is just half of the work. In terms of storage, what we see and what we believe completely makes sense is to be able to offer a very flexible storage capability, where a specific customer, for example, can use only storage in Europe and another one only storage in the US, and also bring its own storage or CDN. So we don't believe in vendor lock-ins, and we believe that the DAM should be open to the ecosystem. And if a customer has his own CDN contract, then he can very easily plug it to our DAM backend. And I mentioned multi-storage with different geos. This is obviously extremely important with regards to privacy regulations, and we think that it's absolutely crucial to be privacy and security conscious when designing features and also deploying the DAM, because at some point you have images, you have faces, you have personal data which might come and go, and if the DAM is not privacy conscious, eventually some of the privacy regulations might become a challenge and stop customers from using or adopting solutions. So these are in the nutshell some of the main more features, if you want, that we believe are key for a headless DAM and that we offer with FileRobot. So in terms of platform, how does it look like and what are the different components? If you look at the FireRobot platform, the goal is really to be at the center of the content operations. And we have three main components. First one is the file system, really the digital asset management database, which is a distributed file system, as already mentioned before. The second piece are the media optimizers. A DAM without media optimizers is just, again, in our opinion, not a complete solution. And those media optimizers are aiming mainly at optimizing images and videos and accelerating their loading times. And finally, in order to complete this whole acceleration and performance philosophy, the CDN will bring this content as close as possible to the customers here on the right. So all in all, if we take a step back here and look from left to right, we have the internal teams with the developers in R&D, with the content teams from marketing, for example, or creative, who will all consume or connect to the FireRobot platform using either APIs or the DAM console, which we call the hub, or as a third alternative, the widget, the media widget, which I mentioned before. We have on the right the end users, and here below we have our external agencies and partners who will securely upload or download assets from the DAM database with strong permission, permission and rule sets. And finally, here extremely important, a headless DAM cannot make really sense if it's not integrated with the PIM, with the CMS, with the tools that are used for publishing. And we have here some of the integration that we at ScaleFlex have developed over the years with some e-commerce CMS, normal CMS, headless CMS, and also some PIMs. Here some examples are listed. What's also interested here to know about our platform, but this is very specific to our platform, is that it's extremely flexible with regards to the fact that if you don't want to use our DAM because you currently have your DAM, but you want to have leverage our media optimizers or CDN, we have this as offering as part of our cloud image service, which is the tool we launched in 2016 and started existing as a media optimization company, and then developed our FileRobot DAM around with time. So I mentioned AI before, and I know everybody in the DAM space is talking about AI and how AI can really solve all the problems. We don't believe that AI can solve all the problems, but we feel like there is an opportunity for AI to add value and to bring some automations and facilitate some tasks which are currently either manual, done by one single person, or extremely cumbersome because they have to be done by different silo teams. So we have what we call Ask FileRobot. So it's basically an AI platform that hosts machine learning models, where our customers can also upload custom machine learning models and integrate in their digital asset management workflows. For example, as part of an upload in a classified websites, we want to make sure that if we sell cars, the person is not uploading pictures of holiday pictures of the beach, and we can very simply here plug a machine learning model as part of the upload process to detect if the upload is indeed a car, and notify or even block an upload if the image is not respecting some of the rules that are set at that moment. Same with face recognition, with background removal, which is extremely important in e-commerce, with content flagging and moderation, with similar image search. So we have here a set of machine learning models which we train or our customers train and can basically upload into Ask to basically integrate into those DAM workflows, which are mostly familiar with. So that's the first part of Ask. And the second part is we believe that as content grows and media assets grow, there will be more and more topics around DRM. And I know people are talking about NFTs and so on at the moment, but in the DAM space, having a simple digital watermarking technology is a good approach, and this is also what we are building with some patent pending technology around embedding invisible watermarks here in images for people to protect the rights of their photo galleries that they share with partners or customers. So who or how do we work with some of our customers? I have here a interesting case study from GoCar. It's one of the largest Belgium car classifieds websites who have used the headless approach to solve challenges around uploading media from their back office where people create those or sell their cars, basically create those classifieds. So they needed to have an inline media uploader with a better image editor. They were using a legacy one. They wanted to make sure that all the media that is uploaded is optimized and pushed in a responsive way to their end user devices. And they wanted a full integration with their PIM and their CMS system. And this is where the Headless DAM approach with our widget in that case, and you have here a screenshot of the widget, provided the solution that met all the requirements by combining basically a nice widget with our DAM APIs and our image optimization algorithms to help with solving the responsive images challenges that they had. So all in all, a very nice workflow from upload through content moderation, storage, and then retrieval of multiple variants, optimized variants to deliver then on the customer facing, if you want, part of the platform where people can go and buy the cars eventually. So just a few words about Cloud Image, which is really the last part of the publishing part, if you want, of our digital asset management platform. We all know that images must load fast, and in order for images to load fast, they must be responsive. So responsive means adapt to any screen size, any viewport, any use case, and this is what we do with our standalone solution called Cloud Image, which is fully integrated in FireRobot, as mentioned. And we usually customers need up to 80 sizes of a single origin image in order to be really responsive, and this is what our plugin can very easily achieve. Using dynamic resizing and compression, we can reduce the image weight by 5 in order, of course, to accelerate the page loading time with all the good benefits around SEO and conversion that we're familiar with. And finally, we distribute all the images over multiple CDNs all around the world to get as close as possible to the end user. And a case study here with one of our oldest customers, at least one that we work the longest with, which is Michelin. You might know them as a tire maker, but they have a large also guide for restaurants with Michelin stars restaurant. So they approached us a few years ago with the need to simplify their image optimization, deliver pixel perfect images, deliver different variants with watermarks, without watermarks, framed, non-frame, with auto crop, and so on, and also reduce their CDN costs by compressing and optimizing the images. And this is what we were able to solve. These challenges we were able to solve for them using Cloud Image by leveraging the latest compression formats such as WebP and AVIF to reduce the CDN bandwidth, and also our responsive images GS plugin, which is fully open source, by the way, and I invite you all to check out after the webinar in order to really have pixel perfect images everywhere on any device. So just in a nutshell, what are the takeaways? Is that collaborative DAM is great, and it solves use cases within one team or maybe one or two team, but there are still many challenges to overcome in order to have company-wide adoption. And this is where the headless DAM can address those challenges by providing those connectors, those integrations, and basically including the DAM in any third-party application, like the e-commerce CMS, like the landing page CMS, like the PIM, and so on. Using this philosophy and this approach, we believe that customers can gain a lot in agility and flexibility, boost team collaboration and efficiency eventually, because there will be a universal media library eventually, and all this will lead to faster content to market, because of the challenges of the collaborative DAM, which will be addressed with the headless here. So I promised a little present. Here we go. What we do at ScaleFlex when we start engaging with the customers is we like to do a DAM and media performance audit by one of our engineers in order to assess the performance of the media, and also to access the DAM workflows and automations which are in place or not. And then get immediately actionable media performance insights in the in place that can immediately be actioned for immediate improvements. So this is a consulting service that we offer, which has a list price of 3,000 euros. So as Henry Stewart events attendees here, we want to offer here for the first 10 subscribers this performance audit and DAM audit for free to go through the process. It's a 2 hours workshop. It's a little bit of a shortened version in order to meet, assess a little bit the current situation, and provide you with some recommendations. Whether you want to use our services or not later on, this doesn't matter. It's completely independent, but basically it's a special gift for the festive season here for the first 10 signups, and it's available to all attendees of this webinar until mid of December. So you will receive a quick summary email with some additional resources and videos from us after this webinar, and you can just answer to this email with the Headless DAM Henry Stewart code if you want to benefit from this free performance and DAM process audit. So this concludes the webinar about Headless DAM, and now I'm happy to take some questions if there are any. Let me just open here the questions tab and start answering some of the questions. So, does your solution check for duplicates in the gallery upon upload of a new asset? So I tried to not go into the standard challenges that a DAM solves, because I guess you're familiar with them and you've attended some other webinars about DAM. But one of the things that DAM, of course, has to bring in as a built-in feature is duplicate check. And when we say duplicate check, it's not only checking that there is no file containing this name in the DAM gallery, but it means really checking if there is a file which might be called, or an image which is called differently but present in another folder. So in Firobot, when you upload some assets, you can indeed configure it to check for duplicates based on name, but also content. So going to check the content of the image or the video and refuse, for example, an upload if there is a duplicate available. So there is a question here: how can we integrate Headless DAM into our existing custom built applications? So Very good question. Two ways. First of all is using the DAM APIs. And the second way is using the widget. So in the follow-up email after the webinar, there will be a link to a video and to a demo of the widget, which you can see. The media widget is the best way to integrate the DAM in a headless way into a third-party application. So basically, imagine you're in your WordPress or in your Magento or in your PIM system. You click on a button, choose image, and you have a model which pops up, a widget, and this is basically your DAM gallery. It looks the same as your DAM console, but it's just limited to the third-party application, and you can upload, you can select, you can change, you can import images from or videos from there using this widget. So that's the second and probably the easiest way to integrate a headless DAM into custom built application. Any other questions? I have here another question. Does your solution include metadata management services? It wasn't clear for me. So metadata is at the core of the platform. Basically, the FileRobot is a distributed file system in the cloud, which allows you to describe your files using custom taxonomies, and thanks to the multi-tenancy, you can have multiple taxonomies, not only one. For example, you have a marketing or an e-commerce use case, the information that you will enrich your media assets with might be different, and taxonomy is different, so you can have multiple taxonomies with multiple metadata and multiple languages as well. And these are also available in the widget. So actually, now that there is a very practical question, I'll use the opportunity to maybe show you very quickly, because I think we have 5 more minutes, how the widget looks like. So this answers also the question before. So on this demo page, you can see here the media widget, which is a widget that can be used as a model or displayed inline, okay, in your application. And as you can see, you have really a full-fledged here a gallery, which can be also shown bigger. And talking about metadata, if you look here at the details, you see here that you have here different metadata which are completely customizable and also multilingual. So for example, you can have a French warranty description, a German one, an English one, and same for the tags. So if you look here at the tags, these are automatically set tags, in this case using AI upon upload. I have the tags in German, the tags in French, the tags in English, and those tags can of course be used in order to search and retrieve a media asset. And while I'm here at it, I can quickly show you, give you a quick overview. So if we look here at the FileRobot Media widget, so you can imagine you're here in your WordPress or in your Magento or in your PIM. You just click on a button, this pops out, maybe even in a little bit, maybe probably smaller way, and you can, for example, very easily bring some new media assets here and upload them. Okay, and as you can see here, the upload is extremely fast here, and you can even here, for example, edit your image in the browser directly. Okay, so you can here, for example, keep the original image resolution and create variants for Instagram, for example, to be created with some filters, and it's fast and beautiful. And basically now I can then upload the files. I can also optimize those files before to not have some huge images that I might not need later on. And I have all kinds of integration here with Canva, with Google Drive, with Camera. I can make a screencast, and I can here as well even import images from a library of free stock photo. We have here more than 100,000 free stock images and photos, which can be directly here used and integrated or uploaded into your DAM from this free stock photo library. So basically, I mentioned here, obviously, fast upload. Here I'm uploading some heavy images. It's about 15 megabytes of media assets, which are uploaded in a few seconds. And those media assets are now in my DAM, and I can start sharing them, generating variants, and so on. So that I hope answers the question about the metadata and the widget. Any other questions? Can we work with external partners and customers headlessly, supplying product information and related media to a reseller? Interesting question. So basically the use case is here. I have my DAM database and I want to somehow interact with external partners, agencies. So what you could do is we have something called the share box. So it's basically a space where you can share media assets for externals to access in a secured way with a password, for example, and access a subset of your library, including the metadata for them to use in order to build, for example, a digital experience or a marketing campaign. So I hope this answers your question, Alex. But basically, the idea is here to what you saw in the widget to offer it externally also to third parties. Good. I think there is one more question. In terms of security, how can one ensure there is no leak before product launch? Excellent question as well. So in terms of security, obviously, when you upload a media asset, by default, it can be available over an optimized CDN link to load fast everywhere. You can also change this behavior and basically say, hey, when I upload my media assets, I want them to be private or team. So this is a scope, security scope, as we call them, team, which means that basically only my team, people I collaborate with, will have access or see those media assets and in the DAM console. They will not see them if a link is sent to them. So you can really manage the visibility of your media assets individually or in folders or in groups, in collections as well. It's quite flexible in order to make sure that media assets don't leak before a product launch. Extremely important. We have here a question regarding AI. To what extent is it trainable? So that's a good question. So obviously everybody promises wonders and magic about AI. I think everyone who has tried to play a little bit with machine learning and AI knows that it has its limitation. The limitation is that it's as good as it's trained for the use case we're trying to achieve. And we talk to many customers and they all come with different use cases, and you have two schools. One is, okay, the Amazon recognition or the usual or the existing solutions which are trained for image recognitions and tagging might do the job. But if you have a very specific use case, like for example, please detect if an image is a schema or a photograph, because I've noticed that on my e-commerce, once I have both schema and photograph, I sell more. The Amazons and so on of this world fall short because they're not trained. These algorithms are not trained for this use case. And to answer your question here, to what extent it is trainable, this is something we work close with our customers with. We can either train a custom machine learning algorithm for a specific use case. So we just ask basically our customer to give us 10,000 or 100,000 images, and through supervised learning train an algorithm and then host this algorithm into Ask Robot. Or if a customer has a custom trained machine model, he can deliver it to us and we then upload it and embed it into the workflows. So I hope this answers your questions, Frederick. And I have a question which I'm unable to answer, so I'm going to read it. Are you handling GS1 naming extensions to specify the direction of the shoot? So I know where this question is coming from. It's probably with regards to 360 experiences in order to build 3D or 360 rotations. So it's I'm unable to answer this question out of the box. I would need to check with our team. However, what I can tell you for sure, Willem, is that 360 is a huge topic, and we released actually 2.5 years ago a 360 plugin on GitHub. It's completely open source, which can help build easily 360 views of products from outside or also from inside. If you're in a flat, you can have a 360 view of an apartment by combining the images. So it's a topic we're working on, and we have a plugin on GitHub. It has more than 2,000 stars, so feel free to download it. It's absolutely free. And I would love to exchange with you offline, Willem, about the use case here, because I believe bringing more 3D and more 360 into the DAM is the way to go. Do we have time for a last question? I think we have. Can a file be exported or edited inside the DAM? And what about versioning and variants? All right, so this is what I consider a core feature of the DAM. So of course you should be able to upload media assets, but once a media asset is uploaded and you want to modify the crop or the filter, as you saw before, you don't want to download it, open it again in Photoshop, save it, and then upload it again. So this is why we have a built-in image editor, which I showed before, which can be used to edit those images during the upload process or after the upload process. And this basically lets you stay inside the environment of the DAM. So once this image is edited, you can either save it as a new image or save it as a new version. So of course, version is an extremely important piece here. And also, what's interesting to mention, it goes a bit further than your question, is that we provide analytics to really allow people to see which are my most used media assets. Show me please the videos or the images who haven't been displayed in the last 7 days. And this is extremely important, because as DAM archivists or DAM practitioners, you want to make sure that you don't have zombie content, and because this is where the inefficiencies start. And that's why the analytics piece, which comes in addition to making all the variants and the versions, is extremely helpful here in that case. Good. I think this completes the questions. Thank you very much for those interesting questions. I would love to catch up offline with you if everything we've been discussing today was of interest. And we're ready 5 minutes before, so I'll give Janet the mic back and close this session.
Great, thanks very much, Emil. Excellent presentation. Please do reach out to Emil. I'm sure him and his team would like to hear from you all, and look out for that email that they'll be sending with those details, the links, etc., to the videos that they'd like you to see. Well, thanks everyone. Look forward to seeing you at the future events that we're holding. Bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.